Chirag Joshi, welcome back to MySecurityTV and welcome back to Malaysia as well for Cybersecurity Asia 2024.
Thank you, Chris. Always a pleasure being back here.
Beautiful.
Good to see you as well.
And you gave your opening keynote this morning for day 2 of Cybersecurity Asia, but really talking to the boards and the key messages. You've got 7 questions that the board would look at, but I think your key message here is about what is reasonable, I think, for companies and organisations in terms of cybersecurity. And you've been talking to board members through the Australian Institute for Company Directors as well. You sound like you're honing your message as well. It's one of those things, we've always talked about executives and organisations, how do we talk to the board? Yep. What are your key takeaways here and as you talk to company directors as well now, trying to talk their language? Is that your kind of key aspect now?
Yes. Look, and that's the main message, right, is what the boards look at. And putting yourself in the position of a board director is how do they see the world and the types of decisions and expectations that are on them. Obviously they have the duty of care, which they need to look at. But from a perspective of cyber, the regulatory pressure on them is rising. Every regulator is talking to them about their responsibilities, accountabilities. And so the message really is looking at the world from their perspective in terms of reasonable and proportionate control measures. So now they're expected to exercise effective oversight over cyber risk management, over preparedness for incidents and response to them. So I think what I've been talking to people is the 2 magic words, right? Reasonable and proportionate. Speaking that language and starting to align our cybersecurity programs in that area will really help us. Now, what is reasonable? Yeah. Right? That's a very open question. But we're getting some idea now. In Australia, we saw the action that the Information Commissioner has taken against Medibank and the details of that filings, and then ACMA against Optus. So you're starting to see some expectations that are coming about in terms of how much revenue you're making as an organization, the profits you have, the type of data you hold, and what are the controls that are reasonable. So MFA, can you argue that that's not a reasonable control now, especially if you host a large amount of sensitive data? Probably not for a customer-facing portal. So I think this is where the CISOs need to take that aspect of translation of these technical controls and vulnerabilities and framing them in a strategic board conversation about the so what. I think that's where the preparedness part of the house comes. On the response side, though, the board also needs to exercise its duties on effective cyber governance over response of cyber crisis. And this is where we talked about the 4 R's that the AICD had published, which was readiness, response, remediation, recovery. And what is the role in each of that process? So it's not just coming and looking at the reports from CISOs or management and saying, oh, this is great, but effectively checking and challenging them. That's what the expectation is also going.
Well, one of the things I'd ask is, how receptive did you find the company directors and other organisations that you're dealing with? How receptive are they to these? Are they sort of coming across as they understand it, or do we still find that it's a new language for them as well, or are they finally getting it?
I think it depends on where, more of the larger companies and more heavily regulated sectors, absolutely. I think they are clued in, they want to know more, they're very, very interested in digging deeper and moving beyond the surface, which is great. The other traditionally non-regulated sectors, I think that's where there is a lot of curiosity. Yeah. So every talk I give, there is no lack of curiosity. I think what they are now trying to frame is how do we effectively challenge the reports that we are getting from our management and CISOs? What are the questions and considerations we should have, especially when things like AI has come about, right? There's so much buzz. Yeah. And there are so many guidance documents emerging from different countries and governments. It's almost taking a step back is, what should I be asking? Am I getting the right information? So that's the type of conversations we are having, and which is where I'm trying to simplify the message, right? The message of risk is don't make it too complicated. Keep it at a level that they understand, but is also very, very relevant to your organization. And that's why I talk about these 5 overall risk scenarios, right? Like external malicious actor who compromises your systems, steals data, through social engineering or vulnerability exploitation. The second ones, you have an external actor taking your systems offline, ransomware, denial of service, malicious insiders, tampering with assets, committing fraud, accidental insiders, make mistakes, misconfigurations, and supply chain. Every major cyber scenario can be framed in this context, and I think that's where the message needs to go. But what is relevant to a specific sector is different based on the profile they have. So financial services might care more about fraud. Energy sector with OT might care about more about public safety and human safety. So I think that's where we need to think about the threat actors and landscape. But to simplify it for the board, it's contextualized information is why is this relevant is such a powerful question. Because, and you talked about the 7 questions, and it all starts with, are the investments that we are making proportionate to the risk we have, right?
I think one thing you do, Chirag, is always not oversimplify, but you make it simple in terms of the communication lines. 7 rules of cyber being a great example there as well. Still going strong, but as you say, proportionate and what is reasonable. Both legal terms in their own right as well, I think is quite important. But Chirag Joshi, welcome back to Malaysia. Enjoy the rest of Cybersecurity Asia. Great to have you joined us on a panel yesterday, as well as our Women in Security event last night. Great to catch up, mate, and safe travels back to Sydney.
Thank you, my friend, and as always, you've been doing a spectacular job of moderating these panels and so many great initiatives, including the awards last night.
Great, thanks, mate. Cheers.
Thank you.